I still want to know where he gets, like, all of it from.
Subspace. It's basic metaphysics, I don't know.
Physics.
I said metaphysics, but I had this on 2-hour loops at work.
Oh my god.
Battle
Jeez,
of Trust
part
8.
8.
It's called Wound, though.
Ooh. That's a lot of little titans. Hey, that one's angry! Usually they're happy. Already? How? They didn't go anywhere. I'm so... How did they lose people already?
I don't even know.
What? How did he lose the other hand?
He hit himself that hard.
But when? When did they die? I don't understand how they died. Did they just push them off the ledge? Like... Don't need you. Don't need you.
Quick, we gotta keep the Titans attracted to the area.
Yeah, I don't understand. How did they lose 20% already? It's like a Ken doll. But when? I don't understand.
Every once in a while, one of the Titans jumps, grabs a person hanging, and they have to replace them.
Did we miss an episode? Like, this is the right one, right? Apparently it's worse than useless. It's counterproductive, seeing as how 20% mysteriously died. How do you have casualties at all?
Again, there's a person every once in a while from one of the Titans grabs one of the hangers, and they have to lower another one.
Did I not understand the plan or something?
Shh. It shouldn't be taking this long to regenerate his face.
And that beard is so distracting for that guy. Your boyfriend.
That explains why it's taking so fucking long.
Maybe he should eat something.
Well, Eren kind of knocked himself out.
That's probably because there's idiots hanging down.
That's what I'm saying. Every time one of them leaps up, grabs one that's hanging.
Then don't hang down.
Why isn't Levi in this?
I just don't understand. Okay. He's busy doing it with the hot guy. I keep feeling like something's gonna come behind them. Not Aang. I kinda liked Aang.
I don't think going inside a building...
Get away from the windows!
I know, right? What the hell are you doing, dude?
Oh my god, did you not learn from that other episode?
I'm really annoyed with these non-finished plots.
I was so worried for gray hair, and then he goes and, like, sits by the window.
A nice episode overall. They had...
I'd put it probably about the same bar as the previous one.
I like this one much better than the previous one. Well, not much, but I like
maybe
it
a
better.
bit better.
It was better.
Yeah.
This one actually introduced something new. This has kind of Eren's Eren's like internal little mind, what's going on in it while he's inside the Titan in this state, as opposed to whatever he was like in the previous one. Which, you know, maybe he was experiencing the same thing, but it doesn't seem like it. Because in this one, he was just like, oh, I'm tired, I'm just sit here. And that's essentially what he was doing in his outside Titan form as well at the same time. As soon as he kind of snapped out of it is when sort of kind of half activated again.
It still bothers me how just like that, how this works, because it's, where does this come from? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense in my mind. Like, okay, he can turn into a Titan, yeah, but so what? But I mean, where is this mass coming from? This energy, this like, I don't, how is this?
Just give it up.
It bothers me so much, I can't help it. I mean, it's kind of like Captain America, how he was enhanced and stuff, and he doesn't eat all of the time because of his higher metabolism. It's the same thing here. He hasn't eaten since the last 2 transformations that we've seen. Or just, he's a little person and then he's a big Titan, like, don't understand.
I mean, there's no explanation, just magic. I don't know, it gets from the sun.
It gets it from the sun?
Ultra efficient photovoltaic, so I don't know.
Well, you could go with that theory because then that would explain why the Titans don't need to eat people. Or just the magical girl theory, you know.
Oh, that's acceptable, but just the
It'd be so funny if he had a transformation scene. Legit reaction time.
I thought that was good. They explored the way, like, Because this is an aspect I didn't really know. I mean, I knew stuff that's pertinent to this, but I didn't know, like, this scene happened, and I didn't know that he had that kind of perception of just being all warm and cozy and comfy in his home, where he was happy and satisfied.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, like, what happens inside mine. I'd be curious to see what would have happened, like, what happened inside his mind when he was all, like, raw Titans.
Yeah.
I doubt they're going to ever show that, or maybe they will for a different thing in the future. But I meant this first time specific one. It would have been interesting to see what he saw.
I was slightly amused when Armin did do the stabbing. Because first of all, he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to cut him out. But then he doesn't cut him out. He just kind of leaves the sword in there and just sits there and tries to talk to him.
It's funny, though, that I just thought of that, like, right before he does it, and then he was going to do it, and I was like, oh, so called it, but then he stabbed him instead.
And maybe it was just because the Titan flailed so hard, and he realized, okay, any moment now, he could just lean back far enough and crush me against the boulder.
Yeah. I so kept thinking that something was going to come up behind them, so I was so tense the entire time that it had those two in the scene.
Oh, one thing I wanted to say about the last episode, actually, is that even though I knew the Titan was going to turn, well, not turn, but that he wasn't going to be focused on the actual task at hand or in control or whatever, it was also noteworthy because it really seemed, building up to the moment when he transformed, that he was full-on determined to get the job done. We don't have anything in the show right now to really indicate what controls, what determines if he is or isn't in control of the Titan form. It just seemed like...
he was probably just more passionate about the Rar hating Titans than the...
I mean, yeah, that makes ditto for protecting the rest of them. Because he is obviously kind of in control enough in his intent to protect Armin and Mikasa when he transformed.
I don't know if it was really... Oh, you mean that one, the second one. I thought you meant the first one. The first one I feel is just completely instinctual.
No, yeah, it was just rage and hatred.
But the second one seemed definitely more out of control, and just the knowledge of the ability, it seems like.
Yeah.
And he's so oddly comfortable, that kind of bothers me.
It doesn't to me at all.
Just because he's so anti-Titan, he's so passionate about it, and then it's like finding out you turn into the thing that you hate most. Like you have the ability to become the thing that you hate most. I mean, if I'm just curious to see what his reaction to be finding out that he lost control, because like.
Yeah, that'll be good to see.
I don't know. It's just weird to me that he's so oddly calm.
I'm not that exceptional.
He has such a strong reaction for everything, and this is the one thing that he doesn't have a reaction to. It just feels off.
See,
everyone else was shocked, and he was the only one who wasn't.
And I mean, I can't agree with that. Like, this to me makes sense as a reaction.
I don't know.
That's within range of believability to me, certainly.
I mean, I guess if I think back, he did have some, like, shock and confusion. So there was something.
He had the whole prod thing while they were all being yelled at and shit, but...
Yeah, I guess.
I think he's also kind of busy being focused on other things, and I'm sure he's had time to think while, Peakshees is yelling off the wall for, like, 10 minutes, but...
But he'd already seemed collected by then.
Yeah, I mean, that's just basic... body control.
I don't know. Anyway, I guess he had some sort of reaction back in episode 8 or 9, whichever one it was.
Regardless, I think what I want to see, obviously, yes, what you said, his reaction to...
His loss of control.
Yeah, but I think that one's more easy to predict. I mean, he'll just be probably hard on himself about it and some shit. But what I want to see how he... and in general the show starts to reconcile the notion that, okay, this one person can turn into a Titan, so what about the other Titans? Because, I mean, look, us two just sitting here watching the show, we're already thinking, okay, well, does that mean that the other Titans all essentially have like a little person in that
Armin seemed to understand
exactly,
that.
And Armin started...
I was glad that somebody finally recognized that.
I'm more willing to let it go in this show because it's all humans who are blatantly stressed and they're
I guess the whole situation too doesn't help.
Yeah,
so
they're in a...
It's more believable, but I'm glad that Armin noticed it.
And it'll be nice to see where they go from that, and especially in general how they reconcile the ethical unknown now of what Titans are, or the extra addition to the unknown that it throws in there. How the hell did so many people die?
Yes! What, did we not understand the plan?
No, the plan makes perfect sense.
No, but they were all standing on top of the wall.
They concentrate
that was
at the
the
wall.
plan. How did 20%? 20% is a huge number.
It is a huge number.
So, like, how does that many people die from standing on top of a wall with a few idiots lining the side of it, who are low?
I want to point out that I really think that the dangling people off the wall was not, like, it makes sense maybe early on when you're attracting people and, like,
but when they're
perhaps
there, it's
way
like,
out of reach, yeah, but especially, we've known that these Titans can jump pretty damn high, and that they can move extremely fast.
Especially if after one person would have been killed that way, why would you think to send more people down to replace them?
I just don't think that.
I feel like we're missing something. Like something was missing. Maybe it's in the manga or whatever. I don't know, but it feels.
No, I mean I'm sure.
Unless they're talking about something else.
No, there's also I think some decoy teams that were just like actually out in the town, maybe.
I don't remember that being mentioned.
Yeah, I'm not really clear about that.
Like I feel like maybe we missed something. They emphasized that so much throughout the episode that so many people were dying. So I feel like we probably missed something then.
No, we didn't miss anything. I'm not that retarded. You might believe you are, but you're also not, because there was nothing to miss.
I don't know, it bothers me.
No, the only thing that could have possibly been, like, intended to be implied but wasn't clear was, you know, maybe the Titans were actually successfully, like, managing to at least, like, kind of occasionally accidentally get high enough up on the wall. Like, enough of them, like, try to climb over each other that incidentally one's able to reach the top, and it's
then
all like,
wouldn't they back up?
I don't know, whatever. It seems like no matter... unless either those Titans are catastrophically good at climbing up that wall, in which case we should be getting more fatalities, or it doesn't make sense to me how they're losing that many people at all.
Yeah, I don't know where this magical number of 20% came from, but whatever. We spent too much time wasting trying to figure it out.
It doesn't figure out. They just want to throw in a number, and they didn't do a good enough job making it believable. Anyway... Other than that, good episode, minus the fact that where the hell is Levy?
I told you where he is. I told you.
You came up with a BS reason.
He's a little distracted.
Silence.
I'm
trying to say an actual point. Point is, Levy was like marketed as like the best thing since sliced bread and even better. And he's nowhere to be found for the last 2 episodes, if not more.
It was more than last 2 because he wasn't there for the yelling episodes either, was he?
Well, that was like top secret shit, so that makes sense. But at the very least, I'd expect it to be unofficially stated somewhere else that like, or officially stated off like.
Yeah. Because then they pulled out these random, except for the glasses girl with the weird straps in her hair. Where did those people come from?
So here's my thought. All these guys are going to die. That's why they couldn't use any of the important characters.
And then gray hair. That was suspenseful. I was scared for gray hair. And then I really thought he was going to make a run for those, the maneuver gear.
Yeah. He might still.
Freaking going by.
Because, I mean, that camera zoomed in, like, straight on that maneuver gear on that corpse.
And then it went back to him, like, he was actually thinking of doing it. And then he's like, oh, I'll think of something.
No, he's like, will I think of something?
Whatever.
You don't know, cliffhanger.
Going by the windows, though, that bothered me so much.
I think it's just because he just ran in, he closed the door pretty much behind him, and he just kind of collapsed against the wall.
There wasn't a door.
Just, it was somewhere outside the shot, but the point is he just, like, ran in and he collapsed. Because he's tired, and that makes sense, because the idiot didn't just drop his malfunctioning maneuver gear.
But they're built to be light as possible.
Maybe, I mean, maybe that... Well, that's why it probably breaks. Weak materials. Gotta make that stuff out of lead. No, lead's not that strong with metal, guys. It is a bit inconsistent that the first time the Colossal Titan showed up, boom, and then, you know, probably within 30 in-show minutes, or who knows how long exactly, but sometime pretty much within that day, that Titan, the Colossal Titan, shows up and just boom through the other door. And not the Colossal, the Armored. And then this time, instead, the Armored Titan is nowhere to be found. And it kind of makes sense because this situation is obviously really freaking weird already because you have Eren and who knows what anything that does. It's all magic and inconsistent and who knows what's going on anyway. So until we have more knowledge, there's no real like grounds for conjecture one way or the other as to if the armored titan was supposed to appear or not. But given that the first time he did and the second time he didn't, odd.
It's curious how the Sailor Titan and Luna appear just randomly, seemingly. Because what causes them to come and then to leave?
Humanity angers the gods.
Okay, we'll probably find out. I'm assuming we'll find out. I hope we find out later on. Alright, so that's it for this episode, I guess. And we'll see you guys Friday. Oh, wait. I forgot to say that it's not really a spoiler because I guess it's kind of a spoiler that I've seen pictures of a chick titan that is like equivalent of an Eren titan in like height and somewhat appearance. But I wanted to make that a thing that you guys all know, that I'm aware of its existence.
She knows of the female titan.
Yeah, and that it's blonde. No.
What did you do? What
is
are you
it
doing?
Blondie?
Who's blonde? Which one's
Is
blonde?
it the blonde girl?
There's several blonde girls.
Oh my god.
What are you
is it
talking
her?
about?
Potato Girl's girlfriend.
I don't know which one that is.
The blonde one that I didn't want the brunette to be with because I didn't like her. Keep up with my nicknames.
It doesn't matter. I don't remember her face. I know who you're referring
Remember I thought that she died and then I saw a clip of her and she was alive? I think her name is like Sarah or something.
You've told me not to answer any questions.
No, but you know who I'm talking about, right? Yeah, is it? I'll be so sad if it's her because then unless she can control it, like Eren. But I think they battle at some point.
Anyway, I also know the answer to your question, but you told me not to say.
No, I know that's fine. But I'll be so sad if it's her because then like her and Potato Girl, like how does they got relationship issues if that happens, man. But okay, I just wanted to make you guys aware that I am aware of that, and it wasn't exactly accidental. I mean, I didn't understand what it was, and then when I saw Eren, then I kind of understood what it might be, but just wanted to make that clear. So we're all caught up. Okay, sorry. And now we're done, and I'll see you guys next time.
Make up.